keep making the same wildlife photography mistakes again and again and nothing to show for. If your images feel almost there, but something is missing, there is a reason. You're not learning from your mistakes. And the minute you do, your photography will transform. Today I'll show you exactly how. If you ignore your mistakes, you'll keep repeating them. And if you keep repeating them, your wildlife photography will not improve, no matter how good your camera is. Once you understand where exactly your mistakes are coming from, everything is going to become clear and a lot easier and faster. Just imagine this. There was no digital screen when I started photography. Things were very different. No Instagram, no spray and pray. Every single frame cost money. And because of that, my approach had discipline built into it. So what was that discipline? Part number 1, the discipline. So these are the things that I used to do to better my photography. I used to carry a notebook everywhere. Every photograph, good or bad, I wrote the shutter speed, the aperture, the direction of light, the weather, like in what kind of weather I was photographing, because it does play a part in how your image comes out. I wrote every composition choice. And no, I did not do ISO because my ISO was fixed. I used to buy a roll of film and that ISO remained till the time I finished it. I couldn't change it in the middle. So my ISO I did not write down. I already knew what ISO film I was buying. If my photos came out underexposed, I knew exactly why. If I lacked emotions, I knew exactly what decision I made to cause that. Mistakes were not free. They cost money. And because they cost money, they made me better because I didn't want to make them. So part 2, this is something that I still do. Of course, I do it at a bigger scale compared to those days, but part 2 is giving yourself limits. I'll explain to you exactly what limits mean. So in the photography world, these days, no one speaks about this, and I wonder why. Why? Because it's so important. And I personally call it the limitation method. It helps me make my focus go crazy sharp because of the limitations. So if I'm going to Canada to take photographs of the trumpeter swans, I give myself a limit. Okay, I'm going to photograph X amount every day, or I'm going to do this per session. It's a limit. I don't exceed that limit. I set a limit on how much I shoot. Back then, when I started photography, my limitations were forced because if I was shooting 35mm, then I had 36 frames per roll. If I was shooting fashion and I was doing medium format, I was stuck with just 10 frames. So I was forced in that limitation of the roll, I was forced to get results within those amount of frames. Today, a photographer can go and photograph 4,000, 5,000, 10,000 images per day. But what they don't understand is unlimited photographs lead to unlimited mistakes and no learning whatsoever. So these days, I have created a new discipline for myself. I give myself 750 photographs per day. And if it's a heavy wildlife day, then I go maybe 1,000 photographs per day per subject. That's it. No more, no less. And I have to live within that. Now, do I break that rule every so often? I do. But for the most part, if I break it, I'll break it by 10%. Maybe I'll do 1,250 at the most. Unlike some photographers I see in the field, they are taking like 3,000, 5,000 images. I can hear them. I can hear the photograph. It keeps going. They don't stop. And what are you taking? Are you taking a chance? Which I think they do. And that is not right, because when you're taking a chance, you're not going to learn from your mistake. Because you don't even know what mistake you're making because you're spraying and praying. The limitation method. Here's what it does to you. Your subconscious mind becomes laser focused. You stop firing the camera without thinking. You become intentional. You think before pressing the shutter because you know you cannot waste any frames. So your mind starts predicting the right moment, the right exposure, and the right emotions. The result? Better photographs in less time and far less time in front of the computer looking at thousands upon thousands of the same exact photographs with the same exact mistakes. I have to be honest with you, this is one of the biggest reasons why my photographs keep getting better. Because I give myself limitations, because I go back and check my faults, my bad images. That is what you learn from. You don't learn from your good images. You look at them and you say, oh my God, that's amazing. Great. But look at the bad ones and then ask yourself a set of questions. I'm going to give you guys those questions, the questions that I ask that help me improve my work. All right, guys, the modern photographer's problem. Now, I am a modern photographer as well. You know, it's my problem as well. I'm not saying that this is somebody else's problem. It is my problem. But you have to stay disciplined to bring yourself back, give yourself limitations, learn from your mistakes. Digital photography made everything free. You can take thousands upon thousands of photographs and delete them immediately. It does not cost you anything. But here is the problem. Because mistakes don't cost anything, most photographers don't analyze their work. They simply move on to the next trip or the next outing. And the next time, they make the same exact mistake again, what they had made previously. Digital gave us freedom. Yes, it did. It's amazing. Digital, I absolutely am in love with. But it took away the discipline it took to get amazing photographs. The biggest mistake in wildlife photography today is not the mistake itself. It's okay to make mistakes, but it's not analyzing what your mistake was. It's not analyzing why that mistake even happened. In a moment, I'll show you the exact questions I ask myself every single trip, and it will completely change your workflow. Alright guys, part 3. How I analyze my photos today. I don't carry a notebook anymore. Metadata does that for me. But the discipline has not changed. If anything, I'm become more deliberate today. After every trip, I duplicate my images onto another drive and then I sit down in front of the computer. And then I study my images like a director would study a film. Cut! Here are the exact questions I ask myself. What if I used a faster shutter speed? Would the emotions feel sharper? Would the actions feel more alive? What if I slowed down my shutter? Would the motion have more character? What if I move 2 feet left or 2 feet right? Would the background separation be better? Would the subject stand out more? What if I chose a lower angle? Would the animal feel more powerful? What if I simplified my composition? Would the storytelling be stronger? This is where real improvements happen. They happen by looking at your images and saying, okay, this is what I could have done. This is what I should have done. I'm going to do them in the next time I go out. Your teacher is not your best photograph. It's your worst photograph. Now let me show you a modern version of my old film notebook. Alright, I would like you guys to build a system so it becomes easier every single time you guys come back from a shoot. I would like you to do this today. Don't let another day go by. It is so important. Create a folder on your desktop. Call it Mistakes to Learn From. After every time you have gone out to photograph, come back, take 5 images that have failed drastically. Don't take your best ones, take the ones that have absolutely failed in your eyes and put them inside this folder. Now, under each image, write down this one sentence. Ask yourself, next time, faster shutter speed? Next time, lower angle? Next time, move left or move right? Next time, simplify the background? Review this folder before your next wildlife photography trip. What happens here is this. Your brain starts correcting mistakes automatically. You begin seeing the world differently before you even lift your camera. This becomes your new discipline. Your photography improves faster. Your confidence grows and your signature style becomes so clear. And here's something I'm going to tell you. Every single thing that I'm showing you guys, I do it even today, all the time. It's not just simply going out in the field and taking pictures. No, I sit down and I look at the ones that I have made mistakes on. And yes, I do make a lot of mistakes. I don't always come back with perfect images. The images that you see on my website and in the galleries and so on is an accumulation of my work over so many years, hundreds and hundreds of years that have given me this. I mean, I get at the most maybe 3, maybe 5 images, 6 images per year. I don't get more. And that's the reason why you're seeing the best of the best and you think that I don't make mistakes. But I do. I make tons of mistakes. And you should too. And here's the key. Learn from your mistakes. Give yourself limitations. The limitation method. Look at your images every single time and say, I could have done this. I've given you the list of questions. Go ask yourself those questions while looking at your images. The next time you go out, I guarantee you, you will become a better photographer. And now I'm going to ask you this question. Which mistake are you going to learn from today? If depth or emotion is the mistake that you want to learn on, go watch this video and I will speak to you guys in the next one. Thank you.